You know I'm still looking for work. He smirked. Great. But while you're looking, who pays the bills? Or are we supposed to feed your past too? The silence was so thick I could hear the dishwasher draining. Tessa stood still, fists clutching the hem of her dress, lips trembling, but eyes avoiding mine. Brandon nodded toward her. Go on? Say it. We've talked about this all week. Tell her. Tessa inhaled, her voice more complicated than I expected. Mom, we can't keep living like this. The house only has 2 bedrooms, and the pressure's killing me. You have to go. That phrase, have to go, fell like a knife, cold and exact. I looked at her. Go where, sweetheart? Anywhere, as long as it's not here. Brandon cut in, smiling thinly. If it helps, I can call you an Uber. Tessa said nothing, only tightened her grip on his sleeve. A high-pitched ringing filled my ears, the sound a broken refrigerator makes, steady, indifferent. Tessa, I said quietly, my voice cracking. I gave birth to you in this house. I know, she snapped suddenly. But you can't cling to the past and live off us forever. I have my own family now. I need peace. Peace. The word landed right in the softest part of me, then tore it open. I laughed, dry, splintered, like a glass cracking under boiling water. Peace, I repeated. So I have to sleep on the street for you to have peace? Brandon shrugged, lifted a beer can, and said evenly, Exactly. The motels take cash. They even have roofs. He tossed his car keys onto the table. Clink. Here, I'll drive you there. Help you be independent. I stood up. No one stopped me. In the bedroom, the old suitcase sat in the corner. I packed clothes, a toothbrush, a cheap bottle of shampoo, and finally, my mother's burgundy quilt. It was heavy, smelling faintly of cinnamon and pine resin, like an entire winter sewn into fabric. The zipper stuck halfway, snapping with a brittle sound like old bones. Out in the living room, Brandon turned up the TV. Tessa poured herself water without looking up. As I passed her, she whispered, rehearsed and trembling, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm just tired. I looked at her for a long time, said nothing, because some apologies aren't meant to heal. They're meant to bury guilt. Brandon crossed his arms, half smiling. Don't forget to turn off the lights on your way out. Power's expensive this month. As I stepped off the porch, Mr. Alvarez, the downstairs neighbor, was unloading groceries. He stopped, looked at the 2 suitcases, then at me. It's freezing out. Where are you headed this late? I forced a smile. I don't know. Anywhere still open? Brandon called out from behind, loud enough for him to hear. Don't worry, she's used to old things. Cheap motels should suit her fine. Mr. Alvarez glanced at him, then back at me, eyes soft and strange. Don't lose that quilt, Evie. Old things sometimes know more than we do. I nodded, not sure what he meant. But his eyes. They were the same eyes my mother had before she died, as if holding a secret I wasn't ready to hear. The parking lot was empty. Wind from the Monongahela River whistled through the steel railings. Each roll of my suitcase wheels against the concrete made a metallic click, like chains dragging behind me. The sodium light stretched my shadow long and thin. A single dark thread pulled taut across the ground. Brandon called after me, voice calm, too calm. Hope you remembered to lock the door, Evie. People like you forget things. I didn't turn around. I wouldn't give him the pleasure of watching me break. Silence was the last armor of the wounded. A taxi pulled up. The driver asked, Where to, ma'am? Through the rain-spattered window, I clutched the quilt tighter. Anywhere, I said. As long as there's still a light on. The car rolled forward. In the rearview mirror, Tessa's house grew smaller, then vanished. I traced the edge of the quilt with my fingertips and felt a raised seam, rough and mismatched, as if someone had hurriedly stitched up a secret. A shiver ran through me, but I didn't open it. Somehow, I knew whatever was inside wasn't meant for tonight. I leaned my head against the cold glass, listening to the rain hammering on the roof. Behind me, the house went dark, completely, and in that thick blackness, I heard it. A faint whisper from somewhere deep inside me. When you're cast out of the place you once called home, listen carefully. Fate is knocking somewhere else. I clutched the quilt tighter. I didn't know why, but I believed. My mother had left something behind for this very moment. I rented a room at a roadside motel on Carson Street, where the neon vacancy sign flickered like someone gasping for